Inflorescence. What is inflorescence? Inflorescence means a group of flowers present on a common stalk is called inflorescence. A group of flowers present on common stalk is called inflorescence. Then point, a stalk of inflorescence is called peduncle. Stalk of flower is called pedicel. Then flower arises from small scaly structure. So, small scaly structure is called bract. Small scaly structure is called bract. Then, if flower has pedicel, it is called pedicellate flower. If flower is without pedicel, such flower is said to be sessile flower. If flower has bract, it is called bracteate. If flower is without bract, it is called ebracteate. Then arrangement of flowers. If younger flowers present at apex and if older flowers present at base, such arrangement is called acropetallous. Opposite, if older flowers present at apex and if younger flowers present at base, it is called 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝑝etallous. So, before learning inflorescence, you have to by heart or you have to read these terms or these terms. First, inflorescence means cluster of flowers borne on common stalk called inflorescence. And rightly, stalk of the inflorescence is called a peduncle. And a flower has stalk, that stalk is called pedicel. And a flower arises from axils of bracts. So, flower with pedicel called a pedicellate. Flower without pedicel, if that stalk is absent, called sessile. If flower has bract, it is called bracteate. If without bracts, called ebracteate. And generally arrangement of flowers, two types, acropetallous. Acropetallous means younger flowers at apex and older flowers at base, called acropetallous. Second one, 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗪𝗓𝗧. 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗪𝗓𝗧, older flowers at apex and younger flowers at base. Such arrangement is called 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗪𝗓𝗧. Based on growth pattern of peduncle. So, based on growth pattern of peduncle, that inflorescence divided into two main types. Among two main types, one is called racemose inflorescence and second one is called cymose inflorescence. Racemose and cymose. So, first one, racemose inflorescence. Racemose, characters of racemose. One is, in racemose, peduncle grows continuously. So, many flowers are formed. racemose, and racemose inflorescence, actually two types. So racemose inflorescence is of two types. In that racemose, if peduncle is unbranched, it is called simple. Like this, if unbranched peduncle, if peduncle is unbranched, called simple. And in this type, if peduncle is branched, it is called compound. Then either simple or compound. Simple or compound. It is of two types. If they have pedicel, so that's simple. If it has pedicel, pedicellate flowers, in that simple unbranched peduncle, if it produce sessile, stalkless, called sessile. In the same way, compound is also divided into two types. One is pedicellate and second one is sessile. Pedicellate and sessile. So total racemose inflorescence divided into four types. One is racemose simple pedicellate, racemose simple sessile, racemose compound pedicellate, racemose compound sessile. So under racemose simple pedicellate, one is simple raceme, second one simple corymb, and third one simple umbel. Under racemose compound pedicellate, their simple raceme means their compound raceme. This compound raceme is also called panicle. Their simple corymb, here it is compound corymb. Simple umbel, here it is compound umbel. Third one, racemose simple sessile. Under this, one is spike, second one catkin, third one spadix, and fourth one head. These here under compound sessile. Simple spike means compound spike, no compound catkin, not yet discovered. Next one, compound spadix, and third one, compound head. So these are types of racemose inflorescences. So under this first one, simple raceme. So simple raceme comes under racemose simple pedicellate. So racemose, peduncle grows indefinitely. Simple, peduncle is unbranched. Pedicellate, all flowers arranged acropetally. So it is called simple raceme. Example for simple raceme, Crotalaria. Then next one, compound raceme. There is small difference between simple raceme and compound raceme. Simple raceme, peduncle is unbranched, but compound raceme, peduncle is branched. Peduncle is branched, and this branches produces bracteate and pedicellate flowers, but they arranged in acropetally, called a compound raceme or panicle. Example for compound raceme or panicle: tobacco, that Nicotiana. So this is simple raceme and compound raceme. So next one, simple corym. Simple corym means same characters. Peduncle is unbranched and peduncle grows indefinitely and flowers pedicellate. But identification for corym: every inflorescence has one identical character. So corym flowers produced at different nodes, but all these flowers are brought to same height. So corym character: flowers produced at different nodes, but flowers brought to same height. Why? Means it is due to difference in pedicel length. Because of difference in pedicel length, all flowers brought to same height. That is corym character. And if flowers brought to same height, opening of flower takes place from corner to center. Such an arrangement is called centripetalous. And example for that simple corym is a cassia. తెలుగులో తంగేడు పువ్వు అంటారు, తెలంగాణ పుష్పము. ఇది బతుకమ్మ అప్పుడు చాలా వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది ఫ్లవర్కు. Then next one is compound corym. Same simple compound corym, only one difference compared to simple corym. Even compound means peduncle is branched. So in compound corym, peduncle is branched, that a branches produces several flowers and all flowers brought to same height. Or simple definition: in compound corym, peduncle is branched and each branch terminated with one corymvous inflorescence called compound corym. Compound corym example is a cabbage or Brassica oleracea variety capitata. This is simple corym and compound corym. The next one is simple umbel. In simple umbel, peduncle is condensed and at the tip of peduncle a row of bracts present. Such a row of bracts are called involucre, and from the axils of involucre several pedicellate flowers are formed, and all these flowers brought to same height. If flowers brought to same height, opening of flowers corner to center, so it is called centripetalous. Example for simple umbel: onion. The next one, compound umbel. Here compound umbel means peduncle is branched. In compound umbel, first tip of peduncle contains a row of bracts called involucre. From the axils of involucre several branches are formed, and each branch ends with one umbel inflorescence. But point is, in compound umbel, bracts present below the flower are called involucral. So compound umbel, two types of bracts present: involucre, that bracts present on main peduncle; involucral, that bracts present below the pedicel. So involucre present on main axis, involucral present below the flower, called a compound umbel. Compound umbel is a characteristic feature of 𝗹𝗶𝗁 family. It is old name 𝗹𝗶𝗃, new name is EAPCET. And example for EAPCET, carrot, scientific name is 𝗳𝗂𝗃. The 𝗳𝗂𝗃 means root is tuberous and inflorescence is compound umbel. These are the type of inflorescence in racemose. These 6 types of inflorescence shows 2 common characters. One is all these inflorescences, they have pedicellate flowers and bisexual flowers. Here in this type, 2 types, one is corym and second one is umbel. These 2 types of inflorescences shows centripetalous opening, but small difference. Corym, flowers produced at different nodes brought to same height. Umbel, flowers produced at same point and brought to same point. These are racemose and pedicellate inflorescences. Next one, racemose and sessile inflorescence. Under racemose, sessile inflorescence, first one is a spike. First one is simple spike. Simple spike means it is exactly similar to simple raceme. Exactly simple resemble to simple raceme, but only point is flowers are sessile. Like simple raceme, here also peduncle shows indefinite growth. Peduncle is unbranched, but it produces flowers without pedicel called sessile. Example for simple spike, one is amaranthus and second one is acheranthus. That is simple spike. The next one, compound spike. In compound spike, same. Compound spike means peduncle is branched. Compound spike, peduncle is branched and each branch produce bracteate and each branch produce bracteate and sessile flowers. They are limited. Each such branch is called spikelet. So each branch produces limited number of flowers. Each such branch is called spikelet. So here a description for a structure of spikelet. This in spikelet there is axis. That axis in spikelet is called rachilla. And in this rachilla, several bracts are present. Rachilla contains several bracts. Bracts present on rachilla are called glooms. Generally, lower glooms are sterile because their axils are without flowers, and upper glooms are fertile because their axils contains flowers. So upper glooms are called fertile. These fertile glooms are called lemma. And opposite to lemma, there is bracteole. Opposite to lemma, there is bracteole. That bracteole is called 𝗡. Above the 𝗡, reduced perianth members present. These reduced perianth members are called laudicules. So, this is description about spikelet. What is spikelet? Spikelet means it is branch produced from spike inflorescence. This spikelet produce limited number of flowers. Produce limited number of flowers. So this is description for spikelet. Lower bracts sterile called glooms, upper bracts fertile called lemma, opposite to lemma modified bracteole called 𝗵𝗫, above the 𝗵𝗫 perianth members calyx and corolla, reduced called laudicules, above that laudicules there are flowers. Why these perianth members are reduced means, generally this type of inflorescence common in the grasses. Grasses means in that pollination takes place by wind, so no need to attract insects, so perianth members are reduced. This type of inflorescence common in grasses, and grasses belonging to family Graminae, old name, and new name for Graminae is a Poaceae. So this is simple spike and compound spike. The next one, catkin. Catkin is nothing but it is nothing but spike. But in catkin, actually in catkin, that peduncle is weak. In catkin inflorescence, peduncle is weak. That a weak peduncle, it produce bracteate and sessile flowers. Only thing, catkin exactly similar to spike, but peduncle is weak or peduncle is pendulous. Peduncle is weak or pendulous. That weak or pendulous peduncle produces that a spike type of flowers. Catkin is also called amentum because catkin is characteristic feature of Amentiferae family. Example for catkin, one is casuarina and salix and even mulberry. Scientific name is Morus alba. This is catkin. The next one, spadix. Spadix, actually spadix inflorescence. Spadix is nothing but spike. Even in spadix, basic inflorescence even in that spadix is spike inflorescence, and in spadix peduncle is fleshy but not edible, and tip of peduncle is a sterile called appendix. It produces 3 types of flowers. Upper side male flowers, lower side of peduncle female flowers, between male and female sterile or neuter flowers present, sterile or neuter flowers present. Then whole inflorescence is enclosed by modified bract. That modified bract is called spathe. Rightly, spadix is characteristic feature of Aeroidae, old name, new name is Eraceae. Example for this spadix, Colocasia. And in the spadix, there are 3 types of flowers present, male, female and a neuter flowers. So rightly called trimorphic condition. Then in these flowers are sessile and the flowers are unisexual. This is simple spadix. Compound spadix. In compound spadix, peduncle is branched. Compound spadix, peduncle is branched. But in compound spadix, it includes coconut. Right? Compound spadix, it includes coconut and musa. But coconut and musa, they produce only 2 types of flowers, male and female flowers. Male flowers generally produced at the top, female flowers produced at the base. Point is, in coconut, coconut that 𝗧𝗦𝗃, whole inflorescence in coconut, whole inflorescence is enclosed by one modified hard 𝗧𝗧𝗃, but in 𝗧𝗧 every branch has one leathery 𝗧𝗧𝗃. So point is 𝗂𝗽𝗱𝗁 and 𝗧𝗧 leathery 𝗧𝗃 is present, coconut hard 𝗧𝗃 is present. In simple spadix 3 types of flowers present, but in compound spadix 2 types of flowers present. This is about spadix. Last one is head inflorescence, highly advanced inflorescence. So highly advanced inflorescence among racemosus head, highly advanced inflorescence among racemosus head inflorescence is also called capitulum, or it is also called anthodium. Head, capitulum or anthodium. Then point is, generally in head inflorescence, that a peduncle is a flat end, that flat peduncle is called a receptacle, Then point is, this receptacle is enclosed by a row of bracts. This row of bracts are called involucre. And in head inflorescence, flowers are reduced. These reduced flowers are called florets. Flowers are reduced and reduced flowers are called florets. Generally, there are 2 types of florets. Among 2 types, center disc florets, corner rightly called ray florets. At corner, ray florets present. So, in head inflorescence, flowers are reduced. Such reduced flowers are called florets. Then point is, all that florets are sessile, pedicel is absent, and opening of flowers or that florets is what means centripetalous. Here important point, chala exams ku rachayi inflorescence important, and ఈ ఇన్ఫ్లోరెసెన్స్ క్లియర్ చదివితే మీకు చాలా వరకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ని కవర్ చేయొచ్చు. కాబట్టి ఈ ఫ్లోరెట్స్ కోసం డీటెయిల్గా చూసుకోండి. యూ కెన్ సీ దిస్ డిఫరెన్సెస్, మేజర్ differences between ray florets and disc florets differences. If you study clearly these are, then it is easy for you. How means, first flower means 4 parts: calyx, corolla, andicium and gynoecium. So in point, in both the florets, either disc or ray florets, this calyx reduced to hairs called a pappus. So it is common for both, either disc or ray florets. Calyx reduced hairs called a pappus. Second one, corolla. In disc florets, the 5 petals, that 5 petals fuse to form tubular corolla. In ray florets, that among 5 petals, 2 reduce, 3 normal. These petals fuse to form tongue-shaped, called ligulate corolla. Then third one, andrecium. Only disc florets, andicium present, that too 5 stamens. Disc florets, andicium present. It includes 5 stamens. Ray florets, andicium is absent. Then next one, gynoecium. common for both either disc or ray florets. Gynoecium is bicarpellary, unilocular, single ovule present at base, called a basal placentation. In a ray florets, andecium is absent. Then disc florets are actinomorphic. That flower can be cut into two equal parts, either vertical or transverse plane. Ray florets, zygomorphic. That flower can be cut into two equal parts, only in one plane. And in disc florets, all four floral parts present. So disc florets are called a complete. And both sex organs present. So disc florets are bisexual. Ray florets, andecium is absent. So it is incomplete flower. And ray florets, only gynoecium is present. So ray florets are called a female. So these are differences between disc and ray florets. And is head inflorescence belonging to family Compositae. It is old name and a new name is Asteraceae. New name Asteraceae. Then point, in some head inflorescence, two types of florets present, disc florets and ray florets. That is called heterogamous head. So if two different types of florets present, called heterogamous head. Example for heterogamous head, Tridax and sunflower. If only one type of florets present, that is called homogamous head. Homogamous head with only disc florets, Vernonia, or if homogamous head with only ray florets, Chrysanthemum and also Tagetes, common name is marigold. This is simple head. And a compound head. Compound head means peduncle is branched and each branch ends with one head, called a compound head. Example for compound head, Echinops and Spheranthus. Among these two, Echinops is xerophyte. So this is about racemose inflorescence. So next, second type is cymose inflorescence. In cymose actually, cymose peduncle shows definite growth in which apical bud ends with a permanent structure like a flower. Then a growth of apical bud is arrested and further growth is carried out by axillary bud. In this way, peduncle growth restricted and only limited number of flowers are formed, called a cymose. And in cymose, arrangement of flowers, 𝗂𝗫𝗫𝗁, older flowers at apex and younger flowers at a base, called 𝗂𝗫𝗫𝗁. And in cymose, opening of flowers is what means centrifugal. So cymose is of two types. Cymose is of two types. One is unbranched cymose and second one is branched cymose. Unbranched is of three types: solitary, axillary, solitary terminal, and third one simple cyme or also called cymule. Solitary, axillary in solitary axillary bud ends with flower. If axillary bud ends with flower, it is called solitary axillary. Example, hibiscus. And second one, solitary terminal, in which terminal bud ends with a flower, so rightly called solitary terminal. Example for solitary terminal, datura and cotton. And third type is simple cyme, or it is called cymule. Simple cyme or cymule, it is three-flowered inflorescence. Simple cyme or cymule, three-flowered inflorescence, in which older flower present at apex, younger flowers present at base, so it is 𝗂𝗚𝗵𝗄𝗯, and opening of flower takes place from center to corner, called centrifugal. And example for simple cyme or cymule, one is jasmine and second one is bougainvillea. In a jasmine, that subaerial stem modification, stolons, and bougainvillea. In bougainvillea, actually simple cyme, it is thorny climber, and in bougainvillea, bracts modified into petals called petaloid bracts. These are about unbranched cymos. Next one, branched cymos, based on that a number of branches. Branched cymos divided into three types. One is monocacial, second one bicacial, and third one multicacial. Third one is multicacial, also called polycacial. In monocacial, every time one branch is formed, that branch is terminated with flower. So in monocacial, first apical bud modified into flower, monocacial. So apical bud modified into flower means apical bud growth is arrested. Then below the flower, bract is formed. This bract contains axillary bud. This axillary bud gives branch. Again in that branch, apical bud modified into flower. It means again growth of apical bud arrested, and this bract has axillary bud. This axillary bud gives branch. In that branch again, apical bud is modified into flower. Or see once again, apical bud is modified into flower, so its growth arrested. So below the flower, bract formed, it has axillary bud, develops into branch. In that branch, apical bud modified into flower. But in this type, here this bract formed alternatively, this side, it has axillary bud. That axillary bud gives branch. That branch develops into flower. So monocacial means every time one branch is formed, that branch is terminated with flower. But in this monocacial, in first case, flowers produced on same side. If flowers produced on same side, it is called helicoid. Example for helicoid, hemilia, and also begonia, helicoid. And second one, scorpioid. In scorpioid, that flowers produce alternatively or zigzag type. So if flowers produce alternatively or zigzag type, called a scorpioid. Example for scorpioid cyme. One is heliotropium and second one is solanum. This is monocacial. And second one bicacial. So bicacial, here in bicacial, apical bud modified into flower first. Bicacial type, apical bud modified into flower, and below the flower two bracts are formed. Two bracts means two axillary buds. They gives two branches. Ends with flower. Further growth continuous. Further growth continuous means again two bracts formed. Use two branches. That branches continuous. Branches ends with flower. Called a bicacial. Every time two branches formed. These branches ends with a flower. Bicacial. Example for bicacial: clerodendron and hypomia. Third one, polycacial. Polycacial cyme, in which even in polycacial, apical bud ends with flower. But point is, below the flower bracts formed minimum 3. It means more than 2. Minimum 3 bracts formed. They gives 3 branches. These are terminated with flowers. Again every branch means second. Now it is first generation. Second generation means again this one produce 3 branches terminated with flower. This one produce 3 branches terminated with flowers, like this. This is polycacial. Example for polycacial: nerium and even croton. So nerium means xerophyte. So nerium is xerophyte. Then it shows circular or whorled phyllotaxy and even stem stolon. Here in bi or tricacial, bi or multicacial, we can do small problems in bi or multicacial. How means? Bicacial, first generation. First generation means main axis ends with flower. 2 branches formed. Flowers. So first generation, 3 flowers, 2 branches. Second generation. Second generation means both branches again produce 2 flowers. So second generation, 7 flowers and 6 branches in dicacial. Tricacial. So tricacial minimum 3. So in tricacial first generation, minimum 3 means 4 flowers and 3 branches. It is first generation. Second generation. Second generation means every branch produce 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So after second generation, how many flowers means? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 4, 8. 8 plus 4, 12, 13. So second generation means 13 flowers and 12 branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right. So on that we can do problems also. This is about cymose inflorescence. And next one, special inflorescence. Special inflorescence. So based on growth pattern, that special inflorescence, it is divided into 3 types. Special inflorescence divided into 3 types. So among that, one is verticil aster. Verticil aster. Second one, cyathium, and the third one, that hypan 𝗬𝗏. These are three types. So verticil aster, first one. Verticil aster, it is characteristic inflorescence of Labiate, also called 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. Labiate or 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. In verticil aster, actually phyllotax is opposite. Verticil aster. In Labiate family, phyllotax is opposite. At each node, two opposite leaves present. In this type, inflorescence arises from the axils of leaves. Initially, inflorescence starts with a diacacial sign. So this is one side. Here it is another diacacial. So number of diacacial sign means 2. This is 1, this is second. And each diacacial ends with a scorpioid. This is 1 and this is 1, 2 scorpioids. Here this is 1, this is 2, scorpioid. Here also scorpioid. So number of diacacial cymes 2 and number of scorpioid cymes 4. So in verticil aster, ratio of diacacial to scorpioid 2:4 means 1:2. And actually all these flowers, they crowded at node and it looks like false whorl. So it is called verticil aster. And a minimum number of flowers needed for the formation of verticil aster, 14 flowers. Generally flowers are bisexual flowers, and flowers are sessile or subsessile. Example is leucas. This is verticil aster. And second one is 𝗧𝗦𝗃. The 𝗧𝗦𝗃 inflorescence, it is common in Euphorbiaceae family. Common in Euphorbiaceae family. Example, Euphorbia and poinsettia. 𝗧𝗦𝗃 is special inflorescence. It looks like single flower. It is common in Euphorbiaceae family. And in 𝗧𝗦𝗃, that bracts united to form cup. Rightly, it is called involucre cup. Called involucre cup. At the center of cup, there is a single female flower. Center of cup, there is single female flower. There is female flower. This single female flower is surrounded by many male flowers, and arrangement of male flowers is a scorpioid. So point is, ratio of female to male flowers 1:many. One female flower surrounded by many male flowers. Then both male and female flowers are naked or achlamydious. Perianth members are absent. So estivation, it is not possible to study estivation in 𝗧𝗦𝗃 inflorescence because calyx and corolla are perianth members absent, rightly called achlamydious or naked flowers. Then female flower, this female flower is represented by 3 carpels. Female flower represented by 3 carpels, so it is called tricarpellary, or that 3 megasporophylls. Then male flower, each male flower is represented by only 1 stamen, so it is called microsporophyll. So the point is, ratio between female and male flowers 1:many. Ratio among sporophylls, it means megasporophylls to microsporophylls 3:many. because female flower is 1, it has 3 megasporophylls. So, 3 megasporophylls or 3 carpels, 3, and each male flower reduced to 1 stamen. So, it is called microsporophylls. So, ratio between female to male means 1 is to many. Ratio between megasporophylls to microsporophylls 3 is to many, and each male flower reduced to 1 flower. So, ratio between that male flower and microsporophyll 1 is to 1. And here in 𝗧𝗧𝗧 flowers are pedicellate and unisexual. So, last one, hypanthodium. This hypanthodium inflorescence, it is common in Moraceae family. Example for that hypanthodium inflorescence, ficus. And in hypanthodium inflorescence, peduncle is fleshy, pear-shaped, peduncle is fleshy and a pear-shaped. Upper side of peduncle produce male flowers, upper side of peduncle produce male flowers, lower side produce female flowers. Actually, female flowers 2 types, fertile female flowers and also sterile female flowers. Sterile female flowers are called gall flowers. And in hypanthodium, that peduncle, tip of peduncle contains small apical pore. It is called orifice or ostiole. Hypanthodium means a fruit-like special inflorescence. It looks like fruit. And in hypanthodium, peduncle is fleshy. Peduncle is fleshy, hollow or pear-shaped with apical pore. That apical pore is called orifice or ostiole. Then is special inflorescence. It contains sessile and unisexual flowers. Tip of the peduncle is male flowers. Lower side female flowers present, but female flowers are 2 types, fertile and sterile female flowers. Sterile female flowers are called gall flowers. So, hypanthodium, there are 3 types of flowers, male flowers, but female flowers 2 types, fertile and sterile. So, this condition is called trimorphic. There are 2 types of inflorescence which contains trimorphic. Among 2, one is spadix. In spadix, male, female, sterile or neuter flowers present. Here, male flowers, fertile female and sterile female flowers present. And in hypanthodium, peduncle is fleshy and also edible. And importance is, here there is one insect called a blastophaga. This blastophaga insect lays eggs on a sterile female flowers, while that it pollinates that fertile female flowers. And after fertilization, this fertile female flowers converted into fruits called achenes. Rightly, these are called multiples of achenes. And after fertilization, that whole inflorescence converted into multiple fruit or a composite fruit. That multiple or composite fruit is called cyconus. And this type of inflorescence belonging to Moraceae family, in that genus is what means ficus. So, these are 3 types of special inflorescence, verticil aster, 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧, hypanthodium. In verticil aster, generally flowers are bisexual. In 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 and hypanthodium, flowers are unisexual. But difference, in 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧, flowers are pedicellate. In hypanthodium, that flowers are sessile. These are differences. One more, either verticil aster or hypanthodium. That flowers are chlamydious, perianth members present. Only in Cyathæum, flowers are achlamydious, perianth members absent, are called naked flowers. Then point is racemose, pedicellate flowers. Generally pedicellate flowers are bisexual. Pedicellate flowers bisexual. Generally sessile flowers are unisexual. Sessile flowers unisexual. Then point, 3 types of flowers present in which inflorescence means that hypanthodium and spadix. These are three types of inflorescence. Then modified bract present in which inflorescence means that spadix. In spadix, bract is modified called spathe. Then involucre of bracts present in which inflorescence? Involucre of bracts, simple umbel, compound umbel and a Cyathæum. In this, involucre of bracts present. But simple umbel, compound umbel comes under racemose type and Cyathæum comes under special inflorescence. If question is inflorescence, racemose inflorescence with involucre of bracts, simple umbel, compound umbel, even head inflorescence. Special inflorescence with involucre of bracts, what means that Cyathæum. And what types of racemose? Here shows that centripetalous flowers means one is corim, second one is umbel, third one is head inflorescence. But difference is here umbel. In umbel, flowers are pedicellate and centripetalous. Umbel and corim, flowers are pedicellate and centripetalous. In head inflorescence, flowers are sessile and centripetalous. These are the differences. And if question, edible peduncle is present in means spadix and also peduncle edible, spadix, cauliflower, even hypanthodium. In this, peduncle is edible.